Hello everyone, my name is Siti Rahmah. My ID number is E1D022156 and I'm from University of Mataram. So today I would like to explain about sociolinguistics. So there are 3 points I would like to explain today. So the first is about the definition and the basic concepts of sociolinguistics. Second is about the language gender and the language varieties. And the last is about the lingua franca, Creole, and Pidgin. Without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so what is sociolinguistics and what the basic concepts of it? So, sociolinguistics is the study of the relationship between language and society. It explores how language use varies across different social groups, cultures, and contexts. Some basic concepts in sociolinguistics include: first is dialect. It means different forms of a language spoken by particular groups, often characterized by variations in pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar. Second is social variation. It means the idea that language varies according to social factors such as age, gender, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, and more. Third is speech community. It means a group of people who share a set of linguistic norms and expectations regarding language use. Fourth is language attitudes. It means how individuals or communities perceive and evaluate different languages or dialects, influencing language choices and behaviors. And the last is accents. It means distinctive pronunciation features that characterize a specific speech, often associated with a particular region or social group. Alright, so next is about language gender. So what is language gender? So, language gender, also known as a grammatical gender, is a linguistic feature in many languages where nouns are categorized as masculine, feminine, or neuter. This classification often determines the form of accompanying words, such as articles and adjectives. It's a grammatical concept and doesn't necessarily reflect biological or social gender. English doesn't really have a grammatical gender as many others languages do. It doesn't have a masculine or feminine for nouns unless they revert to biological sex. For the example, like woman, man, boy, girl, miss, and mister. So, gendered language is commonly understood as language that has a bias towards a particular sex or social gender. In English, this would include using gender-specific terms referring to professions or people, such as businessmen or waitress, or using the masculine pronouns like he, him, his, to refer to people in general, such as a doctor should know how to communicate with his patients. The use of gendered language, like the example like I told before, perpetuates what academic Alison Jewell calls the historical, patriarchal hierarchy that has existed between man and woman, where one or man is considered the norm and the other or woman is marked as other as something quite different from the norm. This can lead to women being excluded or rendered invisible. There are examples of this in studies, notably by Cassie Miller and Kat Swift, that describe that when people are given words like businessman and fireman, the vast majority of them will later describe, illustrate, or visualize men doing these jobs. Therefore, language style between man and woman is different in daily our conversation in terms of features of woman's and man's language. The distinguish of language style in relation to gender on daily conversation, like men interrupted woman more than the opposite, men curse more than woman, women are more communicative than men, Women gossip more than men. Women talk more with one another than men do. Men speak more comfortably in public than women. Alright, so the next is about language varieties. What is language varieties? Language varieties refer to the different forms of a language that exist due to factors such as geographical location, social groups, or historical influences. These variations can include dialects, accents, and different registers of language. Language varieties can be seen as the diverse ways a language is used and spoken by various communities or individuals. So here's the type of language varieties. The first is jargon. In sociolinguistics, jargon refers to specialized language or terminology used by a particular group or community. It often serves as a form of communication that is specific to that group's interests, profession, or activities. An example of jargon can be found in the medical field, where terms like diagnosis, prognosis, and pharmacology may be used with precision among healthcare professionals but might not be easily understood by those outside the medical community. So next is about argot. So argot refers to a specialized vocabulary or set of expressions used by a particular group, often as a form of insider language. It is a type of jargon that serves to establish a sense of belonging or exclusivity within a community. For example, the argot used by computer programmers might include terms like debugging or code review, which may not be easily understood by those outside the programming community. So next is register. In sociolinguistics, a register refers to a variety of language used in a particular social setting or for a particular purpose. It involves the use of specific vocabulary, tone, and style that are appropriate and expected in a given context. For example, the language register used in a formal business meeting would be different from the register used among friends in a casual conversation. In a business meeting, people might use formal language, specific industry jargon, and maintain a professional tone, while in a casual conversation with friends, the language might be more informal, relaxed, and include slang or personal references. Next is slang. Slang refers to informal words, phrases, or language that is commonly used within a specific social group, often as a way to express identity or to communicate in a more relaxed manner. For example, lit is slang for something exciting or impressive, and bae is slang for a significant other. Slang can vary widely across different cultures and age groups. And the last is idiom. In sociolinguistics, an idiom typically refers to a phrase or expression whose meaning cannot be understood by simply analyzing the meanings of its individual words. Instead, the meaning is often cultural or context dependent. For example, the idiom kick the bucket means to die, but the literal meanings of kick and bucket don't convey this sense. In broader sociolinguistic contexts, idiom can also refer to language usage or expression specific to a particular group, community, or social setting. And finally, for the last points that I'm gonna explain is about lingua franca, Creole, and Pidgin. So, lingua franca is a common language used for communication between speakers of different native languages. An example is English, often used as a lingua franca in international business and diplomacy. Next is about Creole. Creole refers to a stable, natural language that has developed from a mixture of different languages. It often arises in societies with diverse linguistic influences. An example is Haitian Creole, which emerged from a blend of French, African languages, and indigenous Taino. The last is Pidgin. Pidgin refers to a simplified language that develops as a means of communication between two or more groups that do not have a language in common. It typically incorporates elements from different languages. An example is Tok Pisin, a Creole spoken in Papua New Guinea, which emerged as a pidgin during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, blending English, German, and various indigenous languages. Alright, maybe that's all from me. That's all about my explanation about social linguistics. So I apologize if I had many mistakes in my video. So bye. Maybe that's all from me. Thanks for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye. See ya.